Hey y'all, welcome to Literally Anything, the podcast where we talk about literally anything, if you know what I mean. I'm just kidding.
No.
Sammy, it's a good thing that I'm asking you this question, because what are we talking about today?
We're going to be talking about my cowboy disease. Is that what you called it? Or illness?
Illness. It's
Cowboy illness.
No, is it cowboy sickness, I think.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
We're going to be talking about my cowboy sickness. If you aren't in our close friend circle, I always cough. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, she does. I got real sick last year and I'm still recovering, and it's been a whole year, and it was a bigger problem than what we thought it was. So today we're gonna talk about it because we didn't know what else to talk about. And then we're gonna hear Lizzie's side of it and see what she thought when all I did was cough around her and probably coughed on her a couple times. Did I actually? I was kidding. Oh, okay. Stick your head. Like, yes, she did. All right. So this started when I worked at a daycare. Shocker. I started working. It was at my church, actually. I'm not gonna say the church, but so I started working there August of last year, the beginning of senior year. I started school and then I started a new job. Should have stayed at my last job. I quit that last job because they were giving me too many hours. It was stupid now that I think about it. Anyway, we're not going to talk about bad job decisions. So I worked at the daycare, and immediately after working, I would always get a sore throat the next day or the day after. And it would repeat every week. Monday night or Tuesday morning, I would start feeling a tingle in my throat. And then the next day, I'll have a sore throat. And then the day after that, I'll be sick. So Wednesday, Thursday, I'm dying, I'm sick. But then by Friday, Saturday, I'm better. So then I go to work on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, I get sick again. It got so bad that I missed the first day of senior year because someone had a sore throat. And I felt so bad because all my friends were in all my classes. And then I was like, oh, sorry, guys, I'm going to skip after second period because I'm like dying. Which we sadly found out was going to become a tradition of senior year. Me skipping certain classes because I didn't feel good. So in late October, it got to a point where I was like, ooh, I might need to quit. My cough had got worse. Also, should have said this in the beginning. This is going to be very TMI. Very gross, very nasty. Because it was a lot of cold related, what is that? What's that called?
Symptoms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So nasty, runny nose, cough, wet cough. You know, you heard. And if you've watched the past 2 episodes, you'll see me pull the microphone away so I can cough.
I think I edited those out.
Oh, really? You're so sweet. I love you so much. Never mind, because Lizzie saved my butt. So by October, it got to a point where it was time to, maybe tell a parent how bad I really am and go to the doctor. I did not go to the doctor. I continually just kept getting worse. By November, I had quit that job. No, by December, I quit that job. It was 2 weeks before Christmas. And I went to my manager. I was like, hey, I got dip because your kids are getting me sick. And she goes, are you sure? Are you sure it's the kids that are getting you sick? And I looked at this woman and I was like, I leave here and I immediately get sick. And I can't get better now because I keep going back to a place that keeps getting me sick. And these kids, they're all nasty. They're all two. They're all coughing in my face. I knew the third time I got coughed on, it was directly in my face. And I thought, this is how I die. I'm going to die.
Is this the same place where like a child had to skip snack because they fell asleep or something?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't work at a church. They're all power hungry. All those women that work there are power hungry because they come from the conservative Christian household, and they feel, whoa, Siri came on. And they feel, I think subconsciously, that they don't have a lot of power in their home. So when they get that power, they're freaking crazy, bro. Loved them. But there are certain points where I was like, I'm going to quit. And I'm going to be so happy after. And I was. So I put in my 2 weeks. And one of those 2 weeks was actually a week off that we didn't have to work. So, that day was my last day. Because I didn't have to come back. So I continued to decline after, for some reason. I was getting worse and worse. And a parental figure did not notice until Thanksgiving. Somehow, well, that's kind of my fault. Because it was senior year. I'm working on papers for one class, math for another, government. We had a play coming up. And I was writing essays for scholarships. And I was applying to colleges. So I was always tucked in my room, trying to get it all done. So I wasn't really around people unless I was at school, which is so sad to hear now. So I was dying and I was secluded. So at Thanksgiving, we were at my aunt's house, and my parents heard this nasty wet cough, and they all went, "Was that you?" I was like, "Who did you think it was?" Y'all have to have heard me. I had to go to you to ask for an excuse not to go to class. You're like, we didn't know it was that bad. Okay, that's okay. So, I still didn't go to a doctor. I did not go to a doctor until January. Why so long? I don't know. I think I was just stubborn and was like, I don't need a doctor. It'll eventually go away. Month 3. No, I'm kidding. Backtrack just a little bit. I did get semi better after Thanksgiving. There were like 2 weeks where I was like, my God, I'm cured, guys. I'm fine. I can talk without having to stop to cough. This is amazing. And then I broke my finger. I got these 3 fingers caught in the garage door, and I have 4 dogs. I live in the country. And they were running in between the door, so I couldn't just drop the door. I didn't know what to do because my hand was stuck in the fold of the garage door. And I was yelling at the dogs to get out of the way, and then I finally got my hand out, and a few seconds later, there's a lot of bruising on my fingers. So we went to the emergency room the next day, and they're like, well, it's a really small bone. We can't really tell if it's broken or not, but we don't think it is. We think it's just major bruising. It's like, what? That doesn't sound right because it feels worse than that. So I ended up wearing a splint on my finger for 2 weeks. And then I had the other 2 wrapped together because this finger was the worst, my pointer finger on my right hand. Went to school the next day, got made fun of. And somehow one kid didn't see, and he didn't see it till when I took the splint off. He's like, oh, what happened to your hand? Where have you been the last 2 weeks, buddy? Anyway, that's an old grudge, I had to say. So after that, I go through December, still coughing, and then I got worse again. Randomly just got worse. I'm not working anywhere because I'm too sick to get a job. No one's going to hire you if you're coughing all over them. Which I was very thankful for. I didn't want a job. It just got in the way of a lot of things. And I saw the first doctor in January, which was my general practitioner. He prescribed me my first round of antibiotics. I took those. Nothing happened. I went back. I was like, hey, they weren't strong enough or something because didn't fix anything. He goes, all right, here's a stronger one. They did nothing. Went back 2 more weeks. Hey, not strong enough. I need something stronger. That happened 2 more times. And he said, I can't give you anything else. This is the strongest I can prescribe you. And I was like, oh, so what do I do? He said to go see an ENT, an ear, nose, throat doctor. Like, okay. So I started seeing her in March. I want to say March. And went to her, got a steroid and an antibiotic and a Flonase. And I was taking all these other little home remedies. It helped. It fixed a lot. But not the cough. Everything else cleared up. I had so much sinus pressure that if you pressed right here, I would either get a headache or I'd get a bunch of relief. It was one or the other. And I didn't realize how bad it was until a doctor went and pressed on my sinuses. I was like, whoa, dude. And all of this while preparing a musical, while waiting for college applications, while auditioning for other colleges. I'm like, oh my God, can I please have a break? So we go back to the ENT. And she tells us, well, are you good? What's going on? No, I'm not good. I'm still coughing. I still have this gross post-nasal drip. I hate that word. I hate it. I'm still coughing stuff up that are in my lungs. She goes, oh, well, let me give you this other steroid and this other antibiotic and take these. Okay. Nothing happened.
Wait, these along with the others that you're already taking?
Well, I had finished the last 2 prescriptions.
Oh, okay.
These are 2 brand new prescriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changed. Nothing. I'm like, oh, well, that's fantastic. So I go back to her. Okay, what's going on? She does a look in my nose. She's like, yeah, it's still swollen and there's like nasty stuff. And
did you ever try an neti pot?
Girl, I did everything, but I'm not there yet. So this first ENT, after taking that steroid and that antibiotic, she put me on one last antibiotic when I came back and said those 2 didn't work. And I took those. I came back for a follow-up. I was like, hey, I'm still here, bro, and I'm still coughing, and I still feel really, really nasty and sick. I was still skipping school because I'd wake up, could not get out of bed. I'm like, wow, my head hurts. Everything hurts. Well, you were probably the first person I told when I was not going to be at school. Hey, tell Miss Wren I'm not going to be there during rehearsal week. I missed a lot of important days that I wish I hadn't. So when I went back to that follow-up, she said, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to prescribe you anything. We're just going to wait it out. This was the 6-month mark. Let's wait it out. I already did that. She said that, and I looked to my mom, and then I looked back at her. I was like, okay, cool. So we're going to go pay $200 for you to say goodbye. I went home, and I kept thinking about that, and I was like, she just gave up on me. She probably thinks I'm faking, which made me think I was. I was in denial about my own sickness because this doctor didn't want to help me. That's crazy. That's actually insane, dude. So after that, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything about this. I'm going to keep drinking my tea and honey and hope something miraculously happens. Nothing happened. I didn't get better. And then we performed a musical with my tea in backstage that I wasn't supposed to have. I kind of hid it in the dressing room. It was a curtain that we all changed in, except for boys.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to change. I was living off of tea and cough drops and salt water to gargle. And then I got sick. Whoa, guys, I got sick again with another sinus infection. Oh yeah. On top of all that, constant sinus infections. No fevers though. Just a sinus infection like every month. I'd probably have 2 a month. Does that sound right? That sounds right to me. I think it was 2 a month I'd have a sinus infection. So I went to a doctor just to get some whatever antibiotic I could to get rid of that. And I had turned 18, so I had to go to a different doctor. So this is doctor number 4. Wait. This doctor number 3. And I told her everything leading up to that just so she knew. And she looked at me and goes, "Your ENT said what?" To just wait after all that? It's like, yeah. She goes, "She wasn't supposed to tell you that, sweetie. I'm sorry that happened. Because that's really awful of her to do." I was like, "You believe me?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." And she goes, "Here's what I'm going to suggest you do. Go see a new ENT and get allergy tested just to see what's going on." So she put me on the antibiotic for that infection. Ew. Oh. I hate these words. And we saw an allergenist first. Yeah. We saw an allergenist. I got a lot of shots. 37 on my back and I think 27 on my arm. We paid, I still get mad about this, $800 for them to tell me, "No, you're fine." I don't know why you're having all these problems. I mean, you have some allergies, yeah, but they're not that bad. And I quote, "the average Texan allergies." And I looked at this man and I was like, "You made me pay $800 for you to say I'm fine?" I'm not fine. So this was in June when I went to that doctor. And I was like, well, I'm losing hope, guys. Let's just call it a day. I'm dying. Let's just give up. So after that, we went and saw another ENT since that doctor couldn't give us an answer. This ENT will hopefully single-handedly save my life. This also isn't life and death. I keep saying I'm dying. That's just how it feels.
You just like it. Yeah.
After a year of constant allergies, it's awful. I don't like it. And it does make you feel like you're gonna die. Some days. So we go to the second ENT. She is the best ENT. Well, I don't really have a good ENT to, compare her to. But she came in. She was like, "All right, let's do this. I'm going to look up inside your nose. We're going to see what's going on." My nose was so swollen. She was shocked I was breathing through it. And then she goes, "And you look like you have a deviated septum. Has anyone ever told you that?" I was like, "Oh, what? What is that? What does that mean?" And she goes, "Well, your nose is crooked. I was like, oh, well, thanks, but okay. And she goes, I want to do an x-ray of your face just to see what's going on in there. So we can like see how close things are in your nose and see what we can do. And she told me, and this makes me mad, that the antibiotics I was prescribed were all from the same family. So antibiotics come in different families, and they all do different things. Every single antibiotic I was given was from the same family. So the reason it didn't help was because it wasn't doing anything. It literally was doing nothing. They were giving me the same antibiotic for almost a year. And because of taking all those antibiotics, and this is another gross, yucky thing, it gave me acid reflux, which has scarred my throat. And I'm a singer. I'm a known singer. From at my high school, I was the one that sang. And we were all in musicals. And my throat feels awful all the time. And when she said it's scarred, how do you say that? Audibly,
yeah.
I audibly, whatever it is, I gasped. And I looked at her like, what do you mean it's scarred? What's that mean? And it like made a whole bunch of things make sense of why I was still coughing. Is because of the acid reflux. Because it would only happen after I ate anything. It didn't matter what it was. I will cough. And I still do. I'll have these little coughing fits and then I'll be fine, but I'd still feel pretty bad. And she was like, yeah, it's scarred and it's because of all the medication that they gave you. And all the medication was from the same family. So they're giving you the same antibiotic that you said didn't work. I was like, what? What do you mean it was the same thing? So I told this to my parents and they got equally as mad. I was like, yep, not the coolest thing in the world. So 2 weeks later, I got that x-ray. And this is all during the summer. This last summer. Got the x-ray. We looked at it. I'm deviated on the left side. My left, your right. Like it goes like that. It's crooked. And I was like, oh, that's not fun. Okay. So she came to the conclusion that I needed surgery in my nose. Because the passageways were almost completely closed on both sides, along with the deviated septum. So nothing is going through. Nothing. So that means nothing's coming out. So the reason I get infections so easily is because it gets caught in there, the germ gets caught, and then it stays. And it grows. And then it doesn't leave. Which is why antibiotics weren't working too. Because it couldn't get flushed out. She said I needed surgery. I was like, okay, cool, bet. What else? She goes, I want you to see the gastrointestinal something or other and see what he says and see what you gotta do there. And then we'll schedule your surgery. So the surgery is called balloon rhinoplasty, where they're gonna take a balloon, put it in my sinuses, blow it up in my nose, and then they're gonna put this little what did they call it? This little dissolvable thing in my nose to hold it open on both sides, I think. It depended on how much we could afford. I'll either have one or two, one on each side, to hold open the thing they just puffed open. We had the option to do the deviated septum, but I said no. I was like, I saw a video of them doing that. I will not be participating. It looks so gross. I was like, that's not happening to me. I don't care. Nope. Mm-mm. That will be happening in December of this year. Um, I just recently saw the gastrointestinal doctor for acid reflux. I have what is called silent reflux because I don't have the typical acid reflux symptoms. And we were told that I needed to get an endoscopy. Lizzie, do you know what an endoscopy is?
No.
So this is what I got to do last weekend. I got to go to the hospital and got to be put under and have a camera shoved down my throat and into my intestines so that they could take pictures and see what's going on.
Were you awake for this?
No, I was put under.
Okay.
I
Okay, good.
was completely out. I was put under. And they went in, they took pictures, and they took biopsies. Do you know what a biopsy is? Okay. It's where they take out a part of something inside of you. They took 3 samples of something. They didn't tell me what. They just said, we took 3 biopsies, by the way. So if your stomach hurts and you feel a little sore, that's why. You didn't tell me you're going to do that. Well, they might have. It was 6 a.m. I'm not very awake yet because I had to get up at 5 to leave at 5:15 to get there at 6. So I'm not awake yet. So they're telling me all these things and I'm signing my life away and I don't know half of what I was signing. I was just signing stuff. And then that's oh my God, he's back. I turned it off. Let's see if it turns on. I think we're good. Look at that. Wow. So we're waiting on those results. They're supposed to call someone. I thought they were supposed to call me, but they haven't called me yet, which is fine. I don't want to hear about it. And I got to make a bunch of phone calls today so I can finally go pick up my prescriptions for acid reflux that I was prescribed for a 3rd time. But it don't do anything. And he goes, well, maybe you need to take it twice a day. I was like, well, 1 a day don't do nothing. Why do you want me to take 2 a day? There's only $15. I was like, oh. I think out of all the money I've spent, I can do it $15 for a prescription. So that's like the quick little rundown. There's a lot more things that happen like in between that I hate talking about personally, because being sick and being a part of everything that I was a part of, it was hard. So what's your take on everything that went down? All the times I skipped or said I couldn't go because I didn't feel good, or when I just coughed in general.
Yeah, I remember you being sick all the time. Not like contagious sick. Just
Oh, by the way, I was not contagious.
no.
I was going to school, but I didn't have COVID. I didn't have anything.
Yeah,
It was just whatever this is that wouldn't leave. I didn't get anyone sick ever.
Yeah.
They got me sick because my immune system was that of a squirrel's. Like a kid could whistle in my direction 50 feet away and then I'd die. I had the immune system of an 1800s British boy. Anything could take me out. Okay.
Yeah, I remember you being sick all the time. Well, feeling unwell all the time, especially in drama. And you would you would come up with you would have so many things. You would have throat spray. You would have
Hold on. I'm gonna go grab something out of my backpack. edit this out because I thought it was still in there. But I had throat coat spray in my backpack at all times during rehearsals. And in between I'd go and I'd spray so much. And then I found out you're not supposed to swallow it. I was swallowing that crap for months. Months. I completely forgot about that.
Dude, I can't. It's just. I mean, you were like one of the main singers in our musical, and you were always sick. I don't know how you did it. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know either.
I
I
just
really
remember
couldn't tell you.
I just remember backstage with Beauty and the Beast. You're like you're chugging tea.
I was addicted, and I still am.
And for Narnia, I just remember like I think it was like the first scene maybe, and I was backstage, and it's like this little hallway, and you come from on stage. I'm like, how was it? How was it? And you're like, I need to cough. I need to cough. And you're like panicking. I need to cough. And you're like, I remember you're like, you just weren't looking well. Like, I mean, like, I'm not saying like you looked sick. I'm just saying your stance was like, like hunched
Purple.
over, like.
I was trying to get it out and up. I was like, okay, come on.
And I was like looking at you because you looked really like you were concerning. How you're like hunched over and you like were out of it. And you looked at me, you're like, what? And I was like, are you
What?
good? And you're like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I'm great, dude. Honestly, that's the memory I don't remember. Because I like blacked out. I wasn't there. If I wasn't on stage, I don't remember it. I don't. Because I remember you even talked to me about it a week after. I was like, what? What do you mean I was rude? What do you mean I backtalked you? No, I didn't. I love you, man. You know, that's good. You're my girl. And you're like, no, you got like a little mad at me. I was like, when? I don't remember this. I remember saying, bro, I need to cough, and turning to the right towards the exit door. And then I remember being on stage. That is all I remember. I still can't explain that phenomenon. I don't know what happened that day. I think because I was stressed.
Too much throat spray.
You know? Maybe that's why they say don't swallow it. I was gonna make a joke, but I shouldn't say it.
Yeah, just like you would like before going on stage, like for practice, you would like spray your throat and drink all this tea, and then you'd go on and you would sing like a whole solo, and then you'd go back off and you're like spraying more stuff.
And I'd be coughing. I remember before going on, I cleared my throat and coughed as hard as I could. And I would like cover my microphone. I remember covering it at one point and coughing to the side. And then you could still hear it on the thing. And I was like, oh, well. Cool. During rehearsals, not during the play or musical. And I remember thinking, just get it all out now. So when you sing, you won't have to cough in the middle of it. And I always needed to. And what I would do in between breaths, I would swallow as hard as I could. I'd be like, okay, I can do another verse and not cough. Oh man, I really don't know how I sang anything. Because behind the scenes, I was dying. When I would do rehearsals with Miss Diane, I'd be almost in tears because I was like, I physically can't sing this, and they expect me to do this in front of people, and I just can't. She's like, sweetie, calm down. It's a high school production. This isn't life or death. It's okay. I'm like, yes, it is.
I was counting how many songs you sang. You sang in 8 songs, right?
I sang in almost every song.
Yeah. We both sang in almost every song.
So
But like
we
just letting you
sang.
guys know, this girl sang Beauty and the Beast, Mrs. Potts solo, while she was dying.
While I probably had a cold.
Yeah,
I always
Broadway.
had something.
Broadway, if you're listening to this.
I can do anything. I could be dying of stage 4 cancer, and I could still do it. I'm telling you, I got potential. I shouldn't have been performing. Because when I look back on that, I was definitely sick. All of it. So we sang through the opener.
Mhm.
And then what was
And
after
we
that?
in the opener we each had like mini solo
Yeah.
parts, like really small
Mhm.
parts,
But
so
memorable.
yeah.
Well, ours was.
Yeah.
We were me, her, and another friend. We were the gossip girls and got to be
Yeah.
little chit chatties in the corner. No one saw and no one spoke to us about it, but that was like our little thing. Just a little touch of something in the background. So it was that home tag.
Dude, I
Beauty and
forgot that. Sorry, I just like got a
the
memory last night. I forgot that we made our teacher tear up. Remember?
we did?
Yeah, in home tag. It was like one of the last rehearsals. We sang it and our teacher teared up. And I like forgot about that. So now that song's special to me.
I guess I don't remember that. I feel bad now. But that is one of my favorite songs to sing. So
Yeah.
I get a pass. And then Be Our Guest.
Oh, you sing like high notes in that
I should have died on stage. Because they would say, so everyone was in the know about my situation.
Mhm.
Well, they could hear it. And they would say, someone said, guys, at the end, don't take a huge breath because that just looks like we're unprofessional. And don't be like, oh my God, we're finally done. And then the teacher goes, well, Sam gets a pass
Yeah.
because she can't breathe. And I was like, well, thanks, but ouch. So we would get through the song and then I would be like, breathing so hard at the end because I couldn't breathe at all. So I don't know how we got through that. And then we have, what's that song? Human Again.
Human Again. Oh yeah.
That, not my favorite, but I like
I
the
liked it.
people we did it with.
Yeah, I liked it. That was pretty.
Yeah. And
Also,
then,
I got a solo in that one. So
oh, yeah.
yes.
Beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Perfection. And then the Beauty and the Beast song.
Mm.
Is there one more? Oh,
Oh, the
Gaston.
finale. Oh, yes, Dawn.
Gaston. And then
The finale.
the
Oh,
finale.
you went really. Yeah.
We don't talk about the finale. I hadn't rehearsed the finale in front of anyone until the last week. And I was going like, oh man, because I wanted to change it up myself and add like another octave. So I went and did this super crazy high note that I should not have been doing a week before the performance. And I remember Ethan was standing next to me or on the other side of Naya. And he goes, should you be doing that? And he looked at me like, wow, but Don't. Oh my God. So if y'all don't know, there's a ghost in my room that keeps messing with the lights. We'll see how long that lasts. Oh my. Okay, I'll turn them off. It's okay.
Dude, you should put the remote behind you and just to let them know that that's not like your
Oh
foot
yeah,
pressing on it.
So I'm gonna turn it on. It's on white.
Mhm.
Let's see. Okay. Ooh, thank you. Where was I? I didn't touch it. It's over here. It's right here. We're just gonna turn it off, and you're gonna have to deal with bad lighting. Sorry, Beth. She gets to edit. I get to edit the audio.
We
So.
should keep you know what? We need to keep that in so that Sam and Colby will come investigate.
They come to Texas State and investigate my dorm room. Yeah, okay. So Beauty and the Beast,
Mhm.
the finale, was a fun and pretty song to do. I
Basically the finale is Beauty and the Beast, like the song just shortened.
shortened, and it starts with, it was supposed to be a duet between the Beast and Belle, but they were having trouble finding the pitch, and it was too late for them to figure it out. So my teacher's like, "Hey, do you know it? Can you do it?" I was like, "Do what?" "Lead them in the song." I was like,
You and Maddie did.
"Another one?" Oh yeah, because Maddie was on the other side of Ethan, and I was on the other side of Naya. And Naya needed to hit the higher notes. Ethan needed the lower. And Maddie
Yeah, I
sings
think
lower. So we both
yeah.
took on the, okay,
I think I
us four.
passed out. I think I passed out at one point, not in the show, but in practice, because we were like going through it, and I was so confused because I was like, wait, some people are singing the lyrics and some people are like doing the harmony, like the oh thing, and so I was
Yeah.
like, what am I supposed to do? Because I was like, it's like wait,
So y'all
where are
were
you guys
supposed to
singing?
just do the little
Yeah,
hums, and Maddie
yeah.
and I were doing the
I think I
actual
asked. I
words.
think I asked somebody, and they're like, "No, it's just Maddie and Sam are doing are singing with them." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Which I was honored that she gave me and Maddie that awesome privilege to sing another song, but it was another song to do. I was like, I wanted one break. One. And I didn't get it. Ew, I'm so sorry. I went in like right in the mic. Please take that out because I was
Speaking of coughing and dying on stage,
uh-huh.
I think I was sick like with a cold like the week before the show, which had me panicking because I was like, "Oh crap,
I remember
I'm
that.
singing, I'm singing opera. I'm gonna be sick."
This is like
And
gonna happen,
um
guys.
Uh, and so, but I got better like 2 days before the show, I think. And, but also a little bit like whenever I get sick, especially if there's coughing, I'll get better, but every once in a while, especially if I overuse my voice, I might have a cough attack, which is where I just can't stop coughing.
Mm-hmm.
And and so it was the day of the show, and we're doing a whole run through, and these like a run through without any stops. And it was my first time on stage as the wardrobe. And Belle is singing her solo. She's in her room, she's singing her solo, and I'm behind her pretending to be a wardrobe. So I have to be super still,
Mm-hmm.
super quiet. And she's singing a solo a cappella, so I don't want to disturb her.
And you'll hear it too.
Yeah. And and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I can feel like a cough attack coming.
Oh,
And I was like,
no.
oh crap, oh crap. And I think my eyes started like watering. I was like standing there panicking because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna choke. Like I honestly feel like I'm choking right now. I was thinking, and I was like I was like, plans were like running through my brain. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I should just walk off and not like pretend like nothing's happening. Because this is practice, it's not the actual show.
Right.
And so I was like, maybe I should walk off or
Oh.
what to do. And also wear mics. And so you can't just go because the microphone's gonna pick it
Yep.
up. And so I was like, because I was like, I just stand there and go trying to cough,
Right.
trying to
Oh.
cough with
Oh.
At least it wasn't in the actual show. Because if it was, that would have been so scary.
Yeah, it was. It was scary.
It really
I would unplug my mic so I could cough and then plug it back. Oh man. I don't know how both of us did it. Because you were in recovery. And then I'm always dying, but
No, we had like the high like soprano songs.
yeah.
I mean, my character was an opera singer, so I couldn't just take it on the low end. You know?
I had the option. Did I do that option? I was like, no, it sound cooler if I did this and killed my throat at the same time. So, in conclusion, after a year of coughing, sneezing, loads of antibiotics, I will hopefully have a resolution in December. Lissy, what's our next topic? Kidding, I'm kidding.
Sammy. Sammy.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever seen the movie Monsters University?
You know, I think I have. I have.
That's hinting to our next topic. That's all right.
I didn't know how to play off of that. I was like, I should have said no. Yes, I live it every day. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. We're literally anything the podcast everywhere. Our mains are linked in the bio of our Instagram if you want to go see our main profiles. Except mine's private, so you can't see it. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, I did. I'm so freaking. They're private, and we probably won't add you. We love ya. We're praying for ya, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.